Hello, welcome to Outlook. I am Girdhar Jha, Senior Editor with Outlook. Today we have with us Avna Vijay Arora, our political editor, and Salik Ahmed, Senior Correspondent. Election season is upon us, so we are here with our latest issue, which is on a very interesting topic as to how BJP is going to perform in the all-important Southern Territory. Bhavna, you have done this story on BJP's prospects in South India, which altogether have about 130 seats.
That's right.
So, what is your assessment? South is so important in the coming general elections.
Yeah.
So, what have you analyzed in this story?
See, BJP has been trying to make inroads into South for quite some time. In fact, right after the 2014 victory, they were shrewd enough to realize that if they have to maintain that, they got 282 seats on their own, and if they had to maintain that, they had to look for look at other places, because they had already reached their peak in the Hindi heartland in UP, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and Western state Gujarat, Maharashtra. So they had to look at other places to make up for the inevitable loss now in the coming elections. So right at that time, they started working on this Coromandel plan, so which included the coastal states, basically the southern states, and the West Bengal and Odisha. So though they have been trying, but somehow they have not succeeded in making inroads into the south. So even now in the coming elections, I don't think they are going to make too much of a improvement over their tally of 21. They got 21 out of 130 in 2014 in the southern states.
That was mostly in Karnataka.
Mostly in Karnataka. 17 of them were in Karnataka.
So it will remain the last frontier for the BJP. Do you think it is going to improve its tally in states like, say, Tamil Nadu, or will open its account in Kerala?
On its own, it looks difficult, though BJP is confident that they'll open their account in Kerala because of Sabrimala and everything, and how they have been, keeping the Sabrimala point boiling. So there they are hoping, but I don't think they will. Maybe they'll open their account with a seat or so, but not more than that. And South still remains, I think, elusive for them.
So how difficult would it be if BJP is not going to improve its tally in South? How difficult you think it is going to be for BJP to get its majority in the next Lok Sabha?
No, it is difficult. It looks difficult, and that is why they were focusing on this. Also in West Bengal and Odisha, and they have been trying there also, but they may just improve a little bit, but not substantially. In Northeast, they had tried and they had made gains there. But the Citizenship Act, I think that is going to be a spoiler even in the Northeast, to some extent, though they are trying to kind of make amends now.
One interesting state is, of course, Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
Jayalalitha is not there.
Yeah.
So do you think BJP is going to ally with AIADMK in that state to bolster its chances rather than going it alone?
Yes, alone they have absolutely no chance of getting anything, and so they have been trying to get into pre-poll alliances with some parties, including the AIADMK, and so far they have not succeeded. But they have sent Piyush Goyal there as the election in charge. He's been asked to talk to all the regional parties in Tamil Nadu, including AIADMK, but so far it really doesn't seem to be working out. Even they think now it's likely to be post-poll now. So, but post-poll is not NDA.
Yeah.
Post-poll is like,
But still the South holds the key this time for BJP, isn't
absolutely, it holds the key. 130 seats.
It's crucial.
Absolutely crucial.
We also have one interesting political story. It's a ground report from Eastern UP, where the Congress has sent Priyanka Gandhi. Salik had gone to Varanasi, Allahabad, Raebareli and Amethi and just returned. What is your assessment? Do you think that Priyanka's entry into active politics is going to better the chances of Congress or its alliance, especially in UP?
The first thing is she hasn't yet started her campaign formally, so people are saying, okay, let her come first, let her address the people first, and then we might take a call. But I personally think, from what I construed from the conversations with the people, that the appeal of Gandhi's is largely limited to Amethi and Raebareli. Even there, the young seem to be drifting towards the BJP. And outside, like beyond these two districts, I visited Jaunpur, I visited Varanasi. I think Modi's popularity seems intact. The people who say they support BJP, either they have benefited from the Ujjwala scheme or they have benefited from the incentives given for toilet construction. But others also, they say that they would vote for Modi in the national interest. But besides this, there were a few other interesting takeaways as well. One was that the cattle menace is huge. People are royally upset. The farmers say that they grow crops, but at the night they have to guard the crops all the time, and the stray cattle, they come and ravage the crops. So I think that is the biggest problem BJP is going to face. Even the BJP workers admitted that when they go out to campaign, this is the biggest challenge they face. How to counter the questions regarding these problems. Two, I don't think any community is going to, whether it's SP's vote bank or BSP's vote bank, even they are skeptical of their parties coming to power in the center. So I don't think they'll vote as a bloc for any of the parties. They'll be split everywhere. And there's a perception that Muslims will vote only to defeat BJP. There's a large perception there. But again, if Congress fields a Muslim candidate or Congress fields a secular candidate with strong credentials, I think there will be a split. And there will be a lot of rebel candidates as well, because SP and BSP, they both will not be able to field candidates on all 80 seats.
But Priyanka's entry must have boosted the chances of Congress in many parts of Uttar Pradesh.
It did not seem
I mean,
so.
not because in Raebareli and Amethi, she has always been there. She has always campaigned from behind the scenes or whatever. The morale of average Congress worker, is it high? Did you notice? Is it high among them?
I do not feel so. One of them, not the Congress workers, but one people said there might be a buzz in Delhi, but there is no buzz here.
But there is going to be a triangular contest. Or do you think that the last minute Congress will join hands with Akhilesh and Mayawati?
It's too early to say. Let Priyanka begin the campaign first. It remains to be seen.
Okay. Another interesting story which Salik has done along with our team of reporters from across the country is story on freedom fighters. This is a very interesting story. All of them are 90 plus. Am I right?
Yeah.
So, what are their views 70 years after New Republic was set up? How do they look back? What are their thoughts? So, what was the experience interacting with these freedom fighters?
It was lovely. Most of them were, amazing people. They told stories of, pre-independence era and of the years, how they struggled, of the Nehru years, and how they, quite a few of them were victims of the partition. They came from, the what is now Pakistan.
I mean, are they happy? Are they satisfied? Are they not happy with the state of affairs in the country today?
They are not very happy, I would say. They mostly stay in the old times, and they love to talk about the old times at length. And I don't think they are too happy with what's happening in the country these days.
You said something very interesting, if I may go back to the Priyanka story. When you were saying, you said that even in Amethi and Raebareli, there doesn't seem to be too much of an excitement, and people are still, even there, people are rearing towards Modi. I mean, is that right?
I'll give you a classic example. There's a man who is in his 40s. He's from Amethi. And he said, that his eyes well up whenever he thinks of supporting any other party other than Congress. But he says, what has Rahul done for Amethi? There's nothing. Had he wanted, this could have been a model district for the country. But Rahul has not done anything. And he said, if 20 years ago I had asked him the same question in Rajiv, or maybe 30 years ago when Rajiv was alive, he said he would have had an argument or maybe a brawl with me if I had asked him to support BJP. So it's shifting, but even the staunch Congress loyalists are are in two minds whether to support the Congress or not.
And in the assembly elections, some of the assemblies, even within Amethi and Raebareli, have gone to BJP in any case.
That has also happened. So they tend to vote for the Gandhis, but I think they don't vote for the Congress in the assembly elections.
So I think we may be overstating the influence of Priyanka. Well,
I would say so.
Unless she goes to the ground and let's see if she can really
So
change things.
one observer from Raebareli said that she has a very unique style. She tends to mix up with people very readily. So, but let's see. Let us start a campaign first.
Yeah, it's still early days, so in a few months from now we will get to know. Another interesting story in this issue is a story on cricket. It's about the veterans of our Ranji Trophy. People like Wasim Jafar and all those cricketers who are playing so well in domestic circuit, but they are not making it to the national team. So these are the great stories we have featured in this issue, which has hit the stands today. Grab your copy now. Thank you.